7 Studios. You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Paragon 7 Studios.
You're listening to the Lance J Radio Network, featuring sports talk and entertainment excellence, part of HUR Voices Sirius XM 141 family. I am your host, the illustrious James Lewis. It is always a pleasure to be with you, broadcasting coast to coast, globally, and of course on Lance J Plus, where we podcast every single segment of the program. I was vibing to some MF Doom, and I came in on the break to start the show about 20 seconds late. So I apologize to our listeners around the world. I want to get this off my chest to start the season, because you have NFL training camps and the first couple of preseason games under our belts. And I know that my man Carlin the Great is going to be very angry with me. But I really don't want to go into this year having a protracted discussion about Shedeur Sanders. Like, I'm already tired of Shedeur Sanders, and not him personally, because he hasn't done anything wrong. He's just showing up, trying to play his best and do the best that he can. He seems to be a good teammate. He seems to be very productive in the community in Cleveland. He's embraced Cleveland. I think that last year he got in trouble for speeding. That kind of reeks a little bit of being a knucklehead. But once again, me and you aren't driving cars that can go 130 miles an hour. So it's easy for us to flap our gums about what Shedeur Sanders is doing. He's driving too fast. You're not driving a Bentley. I'm not driving a Bentley. So if you were driving something that the dash what did Future say on March Madness? He said, switching lanes in the Grand Rapid, 200 miles on the dash. We don't drive cars that can reach 200 miles on the dash. So like 4.3, 4.2 speed, if you got it, if your whip can get up to 175, you're probably going to use it. If you're a 4.2 40-yard dash athlete, you're probably going to use that 4.2 speed. But I see the conversation in the narrative. I'm a pivot to some other NFL stuff, but I see the conversation in the narrative over Shedeur Sanders. For some reason, there are a lot of people in the media that just continue to hate on this young brother. I don't think he's done anything since being in the NFL to be hated on. I get that you may not have liked his act at Colorado. You might have thought that he was too haughty, too brash, that he was recalcitrant and a braggadocio and all of that stuff. You might not like Pops. Really don't like the fact that Pops tried to pull an Eli Manning. And basically his father stepped outside of, he didn't know his place. He didn't stay in his lane, even though Deion Sanders is an all-22. I'm not a Mount Rushmore guy when it comes to NFL. I'm an all-22. It's kind of like the all-Madden. He's an all-time all-Madden. Meaning that there are 11 spots on defense. Deion Sanders is starting at left cornerback on the all-22 team. If they had to bring back the best 22 players, the best player at each position in football, and we were challenging some group for interstellar war, and we had to get our best 22 people out there to play football, to keep Earth from being devoured by aliens. Deion Sanders is out there shutting off half the field. But he's not an owner. He's not someone that, from a class perspective, from a race perspective, should be calling shots at that level. And we've seen that. We've seen the industry. They don't like when a black father wants to run stuff. They don't like that. They don't like it when Deion did it. They didn't like it when Richard Williams did it. They didn't like it when LeVar Ball did it. These people are often portrayed to be oafs and ignorant and inarticulate. And I don't know if it's just the media, but the industry focuses on their flaws. That said, I think that Deion cost his son a lot of opportunities because his son just isn't, he's a very good prospect. He's not the prospect that they thought he was. They thought that he was a prospect like Elway, or at least they were acting like he's John Elway or Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning. He's not that guy. So I see both sides of the coin, but we talk a whole lot about Shedeur Sanders, and everything he does is overly scrutinized. I'm just not going to do that on this platform. Like I said, I know Crone's going to be mad at me, but it's just not that deep. Bottom line is Shedeur Sanders is a talent. He's very accurate. I think that accuracy travels. He doesn't have a laser arm. He's a good athlete. He's not a transcendent athlete. I think that he's going to have a very solid career in the NFL if he gets the hell away from Cleveland. Cleveland, the Arizona Cardinals, the Jets, the Dolphins, nobody can win there. It had nothing to do with Shedeur. Nobody can win there. If Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Browns, Patrick Mahomes would be a reclamation project. He'd be on his third team. Hopefully get with Sean McVay or something like that. And during the preseason, I was watching Ty Simpson, who, to me, him and Shedeur are kind of the same type of guy. They're the same size. They both have some athleticism, not like off the page freak athletes. They have good arms, not great arms. Shedeur, I actually think that Shedeur was a better quarterback coming out of college than Ty Simpson. But neither of them had a run game in college. Neither of them wowed against the elite competition in college. But both of them are accurate. I think both of them are talented. I had Shedeur notched a little bit ahead of Ty Simpson, but I saw Ty Simpson with the Rams. He looks fantastic. Now it's preseason. Played against a bunch of guys that'll be bagging groceries in a couple of weeks or selling insurance. Nevertheless, I look at Ty Simpson and see that Ty Simpson went to the Rams. He's with Sean McVay. He's sitting behind Matt Stafford. He's at a better franchise in a better city, better weather, better stadium, better coaching. Agnostic of draft position. And I think that Shedeur is set up for failure. I don't think that you can overcome the Browns. I don't think anyone can go there and be perpetually successful. Even the coach, Stefanski, went there, took a roster that was 0-16 and chased that with a 1-15 season. Got them to the playoffs twice, and then the leadership comes in and they saddle him with Deshaun Watson. And then they undercut him when he wants to bring in Dylan Gabriel, which I don't know why they wasted a third-round pick on Dylan Gabriel. But then you bring in Shedeur when you already spent a third-round pick. So you bring in Shedeur fifth round, which causes a conundrum. And you force the ownership starts monkeying around with the situation. And that's a coach that's been successful. Like, you cannot win in Cleveland. It's just a bad franchise. Like, the only way you win in Cleveland is you would have to be like Peyton Manning level. You'd have to be an all-time great prospect. You know, John Elway goes to Cleveland. He would have won there. Andrew Luck, someone like that. You have to be transcendent, or it has to be a transcendent coach. You got to get Andy Reid. If he retires from the Chiefs, maybe he comes back, does a stint in his old age. Maybe you get Belichick. Not now. I mean, you see what's going on with Belichick. But it would have to be an all-time situation. Like, those are just bad franchises. If anyone goes to Miami, I love Malik Willis. I thought he got a raw deal when he was with the Titans here in Nashville. You can't win in Miami. I'm just hoping that he goes there, he throws for 25 touchdowns, 7 picks. They only win 5 games, but people say, man, you know, this guy's kind of good. Maybe we'll get him to a real team. You can't win with the Jets. You can't win with certain franchises. And that's my thought on Shedeur Sanders. I know that people are going to be critical of him because they dislike him. They're jealous of him. Nothing is worse than to be a proud, militant black man and stand up. You're getting out of your lane. You didn't stay in your place. You came into the room feeling that you were equal. So we get that. But at the end of the day, it's just, as a player, as a talent with the Browns, the franchise, it's just not that relevant. And this is the last time I'm going to talk about Shedeur Sanders this year. So I just wanted to get it out of my system. Now, if he starts and lights it up and they're a contending team, then that's different. But I'm not going to scrutinize every pick, every time he gets sacked. I'm just not going to have that conversation. And I'm not going to go into the whole racial element of it and say that he's discriminated against and blackballed and he's Colin Kaepernick and he's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I'm not going to do that either. He's definitely not being treated fair. He made a lot of money on the platform. His dad didn't do him any favors. He's a good quarterback. He's not good enough to overcome Cleveland. That's the bigger issue. Paragon 7 Studios.
Live from the Paragon 7 Studios, you are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Paragon 7 Studios.
You'll give me an iPhone 16 Pro, and I can keep my old phone?
That's right. No trade-in.
There's always a trade-in.
Not at T-Mobile. For the first time ever, there's no trade-in needed.
No!
Yes. Also at T-Mobile, you save at least 20% versus the other big guys.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma. Box of raisins. I'm a mom. A balloon. Banana peel.
For the first time ever, when you switch to T-Mobile, get a new iPhone 16 Pro on us. And keep your old phone, because there's no trade-in needed.
Take whatever you want.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Griselda by Fashion Rock.
So we all know about West Side Gun, we know about Benny, we know about Conway, but I want to introduce Stove God Cooks, but I want to introduce Brother Tom Sos, the talented brother. Man. You can hear him on some of the recent work, some of the recent albums that West Side Gun has put out.
Buffalo it's a beautiful place. It's bittersweet, man, because it's just, you know, if y'all love Griselda, man, so if there's the East Side Buffalo stuff that they rap about, it's facts. It's 100% facts. As far as new music, it's on the way. The streets is talking and the streets are right. I got an album. My Griselda debut is on the way. You know, it's just West Side Gun. If anybody is familiar with his work, that man is a genius. I couldn't believe it. If you listen to Health Science, Pinch Me, I'm Dreaming. It's just, I couldn't believe it at all, man.
Hip-hop has been a reflection of culture and society.
That includes stories of struggle
And pain.
social injustice, racial inequality,
The
marginalization of communities. Today,
We confront a healthcare system that has been rigged against all of us.
Hospitals force patients to sign contracts for services
without ever showing us actual prices,
stifling competition.
overcharging without accountability,
And if we can't pay, these same contracts
allow them to take everything we own.
creating so much fear that millions and millions of Americans refuse to enter a hospital.
Putting our health and our lives at stake.
This is an American humanitarian crisis.
We love our nurses,
And we need our doctors.
but hospitals and insurers rigging a system to make profits off of people that's in struggle is unforgivable.
We demand prices
And transparency in healthcare. Power to the patients.